Thank you so much for joining us for another rendition of Ask Stacy and Amanda with Bank of North Dakota. We put out videos once a week on a variety of topics, mostly on planning and paying for college, financial literacy, and sometimes other items. So make sure that you like us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and you'll be able to stay up to date with everything that we have going on. We are up at the North Dakota State Capitol today in the Treasurer's Office with State Treasurer Kelly Schmidt.
Hi, Amanda.
Hey, thank you so much for inviting us up to do these videos.
Our pleasure.
Yeah. So today we are talking about credit card fraud, but before we launch into that topic, can you tell us a little bit about the Treasurer's Office and what you do?
To.
Great.
There's always some misunderstanding about what we do because we have a tax commissioner, we have a treasurer, and we have a Bank of North Dakota. So very much like other banks in the state, we run like a bank in the morning. We're reconciling the state's checkbook, balancing to the Bank of North Dakota, reconciling to the state accounting system. So that's our morning work. The tax commissioner collects the revenue in the state and then they give it to us. And we either invest it in the bank or other places, or we distribute it, and that goes out to counties, cities, and school districts. So when your schools are getting paid, we're making the payments. And so that's the basis of what the office does. As treasurer, I serve on the State Investment Board, the Land Board, lots of talk about the Legacy Fund. I'm involved in the investment of that. And so I've got my fingers in a lot of different pools of dollars. And our goal here is to try and bring transparency to the people's money so people can understand how their dollars work for them.
So lots and lots of financial related information. So I know sometimes a lot of people, they get nervous about their finances, and credit card fraud is definitely something that people should be concerned about, that they should be protecting themselves against. Can you tell us a little bit about credit card fraud in general? I know it's like a giant topic, but yeah, what are some of the ways that people can get caught in credit card fraud?
Well, I think the number one way we get caught is we give out too much information. In the world of social media, we are sharing everything and anything about ourselves, and that just gives the crooks and the bad guys more information to try and develop a relationship or come in from the backside to get to know us. So that's one thing we can do. Another thing is be diligent. I mean, pay attention, watch your accounts, ask questions. No one expects you to have all the answers, and about the time we do learn the answers, somebody changes the questions. So go to the experts, call your financial institution, call your bank or your credit union, or stay up on it by reading information. Those are some things that you can do today, right now. Change your password. Passwords, I can't tell you, you have to be diligent. Change them regularly. Think of something difficult. I mean, don't always do your dog, because quite frankly, your neighbor across the street could hear you calling the dog by name, and guess what? They know your password. So just think of something that's a little bit different.
Yeah, or use a passphrase. That's what our information security always says, like do a passphrase, do numbers, do something complex. So keep your information private. Be diligent about your credit reporting in general. You said be diligent, but checking your credit report, you did allude to that. Can you talk
credit,
about
absolutely.
that?
You can go out and for free. It should never cost you a penny. And there's sites out there that if you punch in the wrong word, they're going to try to charge you. But annualcreditreport.com will give you a free credit report from each credit reporting agency. So what I would suggest to you is that maybe at the beginning of the year you do Equifax, and then a few months later you do TransUnion, and a few months later you do Experian. And that way you get all three, and you can offset those so that you know all year long what's going on with your credit. If you're married, do Equifax for your husband and do TransUnion for you, and then the next time flip them out. That way you are constantly paying attention and seeing something new if it should pop up.
Okay. So what about if you have kids? I know sometimes a lot of people think, oh, well, my kid doesn't have any loans, they're not doing anything. But you hear every now and then that a student gets to be, 18 going off to college, and their credit is in the tank because somebody stole their identity and they have all of these charges and a really bad credit rating. should people be checking for their kids too?
You know, Amanda, it's really sad that we have to think about things like that, and our nature is not to want to think about things like that. But it's really important, if you have minor children, to at least once a year go out and check their Social Security number through the credit reporting system. Someone can steal their identity, and until they're ready to open a checking account or take out a student loan or do anything financial in their high school years or going on into college, no one will ever know about it. And by then it's a really difficult challenge to try and get it resolved. So it's just one of those things that you put on the list of being a good parent and try to remember to do every year.
Yeah. And you did mention be diligent. It sounds like time is also of the essence of these things, and being proactive about your own credit report, your own credit rating. Does timeliness really make a difference when it comes to noticing a fraudulent charge on your account or noticing an account that you didn't create?
Absolutely. You have to be one step ahead of the bad guys. And I always say they start with that tiny little charge. Maybe it's $1.29 or $2, and when you see it on your account, you think, oh, it was just a mistake, and you let it go. Well, if you're paying attention to it, you're going to call your credit card company and say, hey, I noticed this on my credit report, and they're immediately going to recognize that as someone trying to tap into your account, that your account has been compromised. And 9 out of 10 times, they're going to close your account or close that card, cancel your card, and send you a new one. It's so important to be on it. I mean, I check my credit card 2 or 3 times a week. When I see something I may not recognize, a lot of times it's my husband, so I will call him and say, okay, Mr. Schmidt, did you buy something? So we have to make a deal during my birthday time that I'm not allowed to check the credit card. But it's really important that you're communicating with your spouse, or if your parents and you are on the same account, or however that you're communicating. But check and check your checking account. And,
yes.
I mean, just you have to be diligent.
And so let's say you see something that's even weirder than that small charge on your credit card statement. Like you go out to your credit report and there's like a credit card from or a store credit card that you've never even heard of, like weird things that are open in your name. What should you do in that case?
Well, first of all, I would contact the credit reporting agency, Equifax, TransUnion. Contact them and tell them you believe that your credit has been compromised and to put a freeze on your account. And they will do that for you free of charge. You can also put a freeze on your account when nothing has happened bad. But before you go and apply for a car loan or apply for credit, you need to contact them and say, hey, you have to unfreeze me for a while. So always just make sure you're pre-planning. Sometimes that's really good because it makes us stop and think about the behavioral aspect of spending money instead of that quick swipe. But absolutely, just contact your credit reporting company. Also, if you are familiar, you can get a number off that card or know the name of the company to call them and say, hey, this is a fraudulent account. This isn't my account. How would you like me to proceed? And they'll work with you. That's really great information, and that's really comprehensive on things people can do. Just watch, don't share your information. Watch what you are sharing, and keep everything secure. Is there anything else that you would like people to know about credit card fraud and how to protect your information? I would just say that the opportunities we have in the future are a direct correlation to what we do today. And it's not worth being lazy because it takes so much time and so much energy and so much money to clean it up.
That's really, really important to know. So, well, awesome. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for lending your expertise to today's topic. And hopefully we'll see you again in an upcoming video. It's really exciting to see all of the different things that everyone is doing in the state in regards to financial literacy and financial education and how we can work together. So,
absolutely. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. And everyone, if you have any questions about today's topic, go ahead and leave us a comment below, send us a direct message, and we will get back to you later. Bye.